here. Welcome to the PLA podcast.
Thanks, Dunia. Pleasure is mine.
It's such a treat to have you here. I've had the absolute gift and pleasure of getting to know you quite well over the last few months. So it's a true pleasure to have you on here as someone who is so committed to her growth, so committed to her evolution, so committed to her community and to her work and family. So a true treat.
Thank you.
So I'd love to introduce you formally to our audience. So I want to just give a little bit of background about Sree. So Sree is a performance architect and cloud transformation leader with deep expertise in Gen AI and resilience engineering. Known for turning complexity into clarity and thriving when systems are under pressure. Passionate about building systems, strong systems, and testing them to break to drive continuous improvement. Believes in leading with her personal mantra, be the eye and kind, and a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. Recognized as a problem solver and innovator, helping organizations optimize enterprise scale platforms, focus on creating AI powered safety solutions, and future ready digital systems, bringing not just technical mastery, but a heart centered, resilient approach to both work and life. Welcome, Sree. It's so lovely to have you on here. I'd love to get a small summary of who is Sree, like the story that has led you here. Take us back to the very, very beginning. I'd love to hear a little bit about your childhood and the beginning of your career that still influences who you are today.
Absolutely. That's a great question, Dunia, I would say. So I started my journey as a performance tester, unwillingly, not willing to start as a performance tester. However, uh, as I'm making progress, I have figured out a lot of chaos in the system, and something is so chaotic, it's my inner nature to make them better. And I think that's where the spark has triggered in, where I started looking into things and evaluated that performance is not just about the numbers, it's far more beyond. Now, the entire business is all about numbers for the business. However, when you look it from internally, it's not. And it has a lot more to do. It's an infrastructure, it has apps, it has so many. And the business can't accept the fact of any downtime, and that comes up with lot of reputation loss and driving a showing away our customers from our website to other. So there's a lot involved, and when there's a chaos, as I called out, I'm there to help out the systems to make them unbreakable and anti-fragile, which can bounce back. And I have designed so many in my past 2 decades of experience, and I love doing it. I continue doing it to make the systems thrive.
I think you use such a really cool concept that I've heard very briefly of, but oftentimes people are surprised when they hear this term. I'd love for you to describe a little bit more. What is anti-fragile and how helpful is it to start adopting this perspective and this way of life moving forward?
Absolutely. So if you take a system, if there's a downtime, for instance, let's take a situation of Black Friday. How
Mm,
many across North America would be waiting to get the deals?
yeah.
Yep. So imagine a Target or a Best Buy, Walmart. The website just goes down for 5 minutes. It creates such a chaotic, and people would be like, "Oh no, I'm missing deals." So I'll just leave the Walmart website and go to other website, whether it could be Target, whether it could be anything. So that can turn into millions of dollars loss because my customers are leaving. So that downtime can be predicted. We can't afford to have that downtime, a big no. So we can make systems better, which are self-healing, right? Meaning we observe the trend and make sure during the testing process as a performance architect, if you can make the systems available and have always a backup plan, how you want to scale up the systems. If you see a crowd which is unpredicted, if you're not anticipating that many, still you are prepared,
Mm,
that will help to self heal. And even if it breaks for any reason, they should always have a plan B.
mm.
So we are not letting our customers go away. That's how the anti fragile systems work.
Beautiful. I think there's something about being prepared for all case scenarios and having these backup plans that allow for these situations when they do occur. First of all, to avoid them occurring, but if they do occur, having something to fall back on. Because you're right, it could cost a major company billions of dollars within those opportunities if these things happen and we are unprepared. And so many of us avoid looking at the problems thinking, no, 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 I don't want to go there. I don't even want to imagine the system going down. But the reality is, it's so important to be prepared and actually look at every single problem that could occur to be sure that we are ready no matter what.
That's absolutely true.
I'm
Imagine you're making a payment and it just hangs on spinning around. What do you look out as?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be curious also, kind of talking about these challenges, but in a completely different light. I'd be curious to know what have been the greatest challenges of your career and what have you learned through them? How have you overcome them throughout your time? I'm sure people are so curious and probably would get a ton of value from that answer.
Sure. There are multiple challenges that I have faced. It would be a lie if I say, wow, I have learned everything and done everything. No, I had so many hard rock hits in order to be where I am. And every downfall was a learning for me. I have worked with versatile customers in my career, I would say. You take insurance. I work with banking sector. I work with digital. So I work with logistics. Everywhere, the underlying concept is same. We want a good performance. But the architecture, the technology, everything that they use are so different. And well, it's always good to find um, when you have a downfall, oh, or you are working for different clients and different customers, you get a chance to learn about the infrastructure and architecture so well that any challenge is thrown at you, you are ready. It's similar to the anti-fragile system. So I'm resilient now to anything that is on my way.
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest things that I admire of you so much, Sree, is you are so courageous and bold. I think that's something that is oftentimes women shy away from that in their careers and shy away from that beautiful, bold, courageous part of their personalities. And it's actually something that I admire so much in you and I've gotten to know very well over the last few months. And I'd be so curious, for women that don't have that kind of strong presence and character like you, what would you suggest to them to start building that and growing that with time?
Oh, that's a wonderful question. I'm always a participant of women empowerment, and I would like to suggest any woman out there to not shy away from making mistakes.
Mm,
It's okay if you make a mistake, but there's always a learning from everything that you should always carry it forward and not repeat it. So, step on board. It's okay to ask questions. It doesn't have anything to do with the feminism.
mm.
Go ahead. The world is waiting for you, where you can bring the change that you wanted to see.
That's beautiful. I think there's something so powerful and like go first, be imperfect, be bold, be courageous. Like the world is just waiting for that. And it's so true. So many of us are, waiting for the perfect answer, waiting for the perfect time, waiting for the perfect opportunity, hoping that that day will come. But really, the truth is, it's showing up. And every single time we show up, we'll get more and more, you know, like much better every single time. And every single time we hold back, the world actually loses out because it's missing out on what we're bringing to it. So I think you bring out such an important point. And I think that a lot of women have held themselves back, especially in tech and especially in these big, beautiful corporate careers that we're getting to see more and more of their presence in, which has been such a gift. I'm quite curious. What do you see as the future for women in tech and moving forward?
Think about how far the women have come from once upon a time where they are just bound between the four walls to now being the CEOs of the company. Imagine Julie Sweet. She is one of the powerful entrepreneurs or the CEO of the Essential. Think about the CEO of PepsiCo. She was a woman too. There's so many across the world who are women. It's just us who are thinking that we don't know anything versus we have come a long way. It's important now to take that first step. Think of the gain that we have from so far versus a gap of little bit that we don't know. Why?
Yeah.
Why? We have a long way to go. We are driving thousands and thousands of employees under the guidance of women leaders. The women everywhere, the equally competent. We just have to think about the gain versus the gap of what we don't know, because that's something we can learn very quickly if at all it is there. Unless you are exposed to the real world problems, you can never think about or put your solutions in place, I would say.
Absolutely. I think that you're right. This focus on how far we've come versus how far we have left to go is so much more empowering, such a much more positive perspective, and allows us to really be grateful for what's been happening, and gives us in some ways that momentum and drive to keep pushing forward rather than a sense of discouragement. And there's something beautiful about seeing women at the table where women really see the systems as an ecosystem. Like, if I win, everybody wins. How can I make a decision today that allows the benefit for the entire whole, which has been so beautiful to see over time. I'm curious to know, like, how was Sree at the very beginning of her career, and what would you tell her knowing everything that you know now?
Oh, that's a tough question. It takes me back to so many X number of years. I would say I have not changed a lot, but I been a member of the family. We are four girls, and from childhood, I have some curiosity. And there's one thing that my dad has mentioned is whatever comes your way, go for it. You never know when it gets handy. It's like a handyman's tools. All the things that comes your way were for a reason. So you have to go grab them. So I'm always curious and be observant and vigilant about everything that's happening around me. And I have such a huge bucket list to go with. And to answer your question, since I have not changed much, the curiosity is something that always keeps me going, asking questions, learning new things. Don't just settle for less. There's a lot to learn. Just enjoy what's happening around you, and you will, in no time, be where you want to be without your knowledge. So just keep learning, keep enjoying, and whatever you learn, try to implement. You just don't keep it to yourself. You have to let that implement in the real world. Only then you can see the real value of it.
Beautiful. I think there's so much there, keeping an open and curious mind, and never shying away from a new opportunity to learn. And that piece of like learning to enjoy the process, because so many of us are focused on progress and performance, and we forget that the whole journey is what we're here for. And when it'll be over and we get to, this next promotion or the next career or this next title, this next bonus, we realize, wait a minute, it's who I became in this process. It's all of what I've gone through that allows me to truly be here and enjoy this. And it's not actually about the result in the end. I think there's so much there. And that piece about implementation that you brought, it's so important that yes, we are learning, yes, we are growing, but really the true value is implementing what we're learning and growing through all throughout our journey to see the growth and difference and actually get to our destination, get to our results with more effectiveness. I think there's so much value there in what you've shared. I'm curious
If
how,
you
yes, go
if you
for it.
have the authenticity, if you are authentic and true to yourself, there's nothing that can stop you. We
Mm,
all are stuck in the rat race of getting these bonuses, getting these promotions, but take a step back and slow down to think, where are we leading to? Are we
mm,
just in the race for the sake of race? Or you are just building your own empire of knowledge and your own authenticity?
mm.
That's what play a key role. I can't be dunya or neither, vice versa.
So
But
true.
if you're so authentic,
Mm.
everything comes to you.
Yeah. I love this piece on authenticity. And so many times it's overlooked. So many of us are focusing on our mentors, on our idols, on these people that we're trying to emulate. And really, the value is in being who we are. And the more we lean into it, the more we are this, beautiful, authentic being that is not recreatable and duplicatable, and there's so much value there. And I think there's something really cool about authenticity in the sense where the more authentic we are, the more we connect with authentic people, and the more we give permission to those who are afraid of being authentic to be authentic too. There's definitely something.
Very true. Very true.
I'd be curious, what has been your greatest lesson in the last 6 months in your career or personal life? What has been something that you said, wow, you know what? That was a great teaching, or that was a great learning, or that was a great piece of growth for me?
I have done of them in the last 6 months, I would say. I met my coaches. I thought that the coaching is only meant for the sports like soccer, baseball, basketball. But no, the coaches should be there everywhere. My learning curve has been so exponential. It was before, but this time the learning curve is good exponential that I have learned about my own technology a
Mm.
little more. I created a framework for site reliability engineering. I have learned the buzzword right now in the market, AI.
Mm.
I haven't just learned, I also teamed up with people in one of the summer programs, Dallas AI summer program, and we landed up in the second place.
Yes.
Can you imagine from where I have been thinking, okay, it's okay, I'm getting my paycheck, that's fine, versus being savvy for learning more and implement. It's not just learning, implement, and stood up in the second place. I think it's still achievable. So I'm very proud about where I'm landing in. However, that should not stop me from doing much more what I'm looking forward for.
Incredible. Beautiful. I think there's so much there, and there has been so much growth, but so much implementation of that growth on a technical level skill, on a personal skills, on personal development and growth. There has been so much for you in the last 6 months, and it just makes me excited about what's to come for you. Speaking on AI, I would love to hear, how do you see AI disrupting the industry moving forward?
I would agree and disagree with the statement AI is disrupting the industry. It just reminds me about where people were just digging everything in the house construction with just hands, with all those tools, versus caterpillar machinery and everything that are out there. Did people lose jobs?
Mm.
Yes. Who lost their jobs? Who hasn't trained themselves up with the change in the world? So that's why I said I agree and disagree.
Yeah.
So AI is not disrupting, rather, it is helping us build better systems. What exactly AI does? We are handing over the repetitive task to the AI so it can scan, drill, analyze, and give us the data which can take months by humans versus AI in either days or hours.
Mm.
We're seeing a lot of performance improvement over there versus being timid and thinking through, oh no, AI is coming, what should I do? Versus just embrace the change. Be
Mm.
part of the change. Be the first innovators of learning the AI and applying that in your day to day lives. That can help our customers, our clients, help the business
Mm.
and make a mark for you on what you want to do.
I think there's something really valuable in what you've shared in the sense where to some it may seem like disruption, to others it seems like an opportunity. There's a tool in front of us that if utilized could grow our productivity and our effectiveness exponentially. But to those that aren't utilizing this opportunity, it could be a great threat of, the way they think, the way they've been valued, the way they've done their work, the way they've seen things. Really depends on how the tool is seen, utilized, and taken advantage of truly.
It's just the perspective of that lens that you are looking through, right? Whether you are scared to dive into the ocean, which can still lift you up, or you just think that dive into the puddle and then, oh no, I'm in the water.
And I'd be so curious, like, how do you see the future of Sree unfolding? Like, what are you excited about in terms of legacy and impact moving forward?
That's a wonderful question. I've been thinking about that from a while, and I'm sure I'm here to build systems which are not just being resilient, they are anti fragile and they can make and bring a lot of change. And AI is just one sort of tool, and I'm going to see myself as not just a performance architect anymore or just tagging behind the SRE anymore. I would definitely be the change in order to bring the change over here. And I'm looking forward for the chief operations officer and eventually be in that C-suite that I'm looking forward where I can lead the people with my ideology and the vision and help the people believe what I believe in order to make the systems thrive and bring a change.
Beautiful. I think that seeing you in a leadership position already in so many ways and seeing it also unfold in this vision, just on a macro scale of what's already been playing itself out, is just beautiful and feels so aligned. I'm so excited for everything that's to come for you, Sri. It's been
Thank
beautiful to
you.
see you grow, and it's going to be beautiful to keep watching you grow as time goes on.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. There will be one day when I'll be there.
Absolutely. And in some ways you already are in so many ways. So sacred. I think that we mentioned PLA, we mentioned the coaches, and we've mentioned, these opportunities that have in some ways presented themselves in all of our lives in PLA in the last, 6 months to 2 years for those who have been a part of the journey from the very start. I'd want to know what have been some of your biggest insights since joining PLA.
I would say, first of all, thank you so much for posting that question because that's very near and dear. PLA family has been so close to me, and their proximity always energizes me so well that it can last for weeks and weeks. To answer your question, yes. PLA, it stands out like Personal Leadership Academy. They help us bring out our superheroes from our childhood. When we were children, when we were kids, we always want to achieve this, we want to become this one, we want to become a Navy officer, we want to become Army officer, or CEO, whatnot, we always dreamed about. But in the rat race of getting the promotions, hikes, bonus, whatnot, we forgot our superheroes who are still there in our head. And we are not using their powers to empower us and be what we are. And PLA has been so instrumental, I would say, in my personal experience too. The coaches are phenomenal, they are fantastic and incredible. They try to bring all of your superheroes back into life, and you just feel like, what am I doing here, chasing over something and deviating from what I want to do? And they'll bring back in the right path of doing what you want to do. It's an incredible community, and they just let you be what you want to be, still achieve your goals, and get you close to your goals.
I think there's something really valuable in what you've shared, that piece of coming back to childhood. And I think that one of the synonyms metaphorically for that is coming back to our true authentic self. What do we actually want? So many of us are chasing dreams, desires, and goals that are not actually ours truly. And having a space that really has us dig deeper and ask ourselves, what do I actually want? And what truly serves the vision that I'm here to bring to life is so valuable and so important. And so many of us are stuck in this rat race of moving through life and step by step. And we forget that we fall into this pattern like everybody else, rather than taking the time and really investing in ourselves and say, am I playing to the fullness of my potential? Not the next door neighbor's potential, but my own potential and everything that lives within inside me. And those dreams and desires that have been there really since childhood, like you've mentioned.
True. We just have to slow down and take a deep breath to figure out what we really want, what our vision is, and how to reach there, how to put that in the right place with the right audience so you can provide your authenticity of giving the solution and implementing versus just sharing it where it is of no value.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The power of community and the right space, truly. I wanted to create an open invitation for anyone who's curious about PLA and is like, what is this crazy PLA community that they keep talking about? I wanted to just put an opportunity out there. PLA continuously hosts these wonderful free trainings that provide a ton of value. Having been around the work of the founders for many years now, I'm just going to pop this little QR code on the screen in case someone's curious of joining the next one, and just allowing that open invitation. If it feels right, feel free to scan the QR code and it'll bring you to the website exactly where you will be able to find when the next free training will be. And so just so wonderful to have you on, Sree, today, and just want to thank you for everything that you've shared with the audience, for all that who you are, and truly for embodying the work, embodying the inner and outer work, always committed to going first, and just bringing such beautiful light and such an inspiring persona and energy to the space, as always.
Thank you so much. The pleasure is all mine for hosting me, Dunia. And I just want to share one last note.
Absolutely.
Be always the I in kind. Be kind to yourself. Don't be so hard. And always remember, a smooth sea never makes a skilled sailor. Be open for challenges.
Mm.
That's okay if you're down, but keep going. It's just that one step that can take you forward, and don't hesitate to move forward. Thank you, Dunia.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sree. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your insights. And thank you for all that you are. And we'll catch everyone on the next PLA podcast. Have a beautiful day, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.